Hi, I'm Curtis and welcome to the show, our show. Today, I'm standing on the grounds of Dominican University of California in San Rafael. This place is near and dear to my heart. I earned my master's here in education, graduating in year 2013, the same year my youngest son graduated from high school. This place taught me a lot, it gave me a lot, it helped me share a lot. Some people that are lifelong friends. Brianna Chambers, who's now coaching at Niagara University in Niagara, New York. Bree and I served on a panel. We were talking about elevating life and ourselves, and she impressed me so much that I went to her and said, hey, I want to work with you coaching basketball. So she took me on, a volunteer coach at Dominican, and I learned so much from Bree. I love her. She's like a sister to me now. She is a sister to me. Different mama, different daddy, same father. Madeline Peters, my master's advisor. Madeline is a touchstone in my life. She introduced me to her husband, Horace Bixby. I call him Doc. Love the dude. He's 90-something years old, and he still skis every year in Colorado. Margaret Golden, another of my advisors. Madeline and Margaret encouraged me to take a course called Courage, based on Parker Palmer's principles, and I learned so much. Through that course, Margaret reintroduced me or shared with me poetry in a new way. Now I express myself with poetry a lot more than I ever did. Through poetry, I'm able to share some of the emotions and feelings that I'm experiencing, and they keep me from getting angry. They allow me to share my frustration without taking it out on the people I love, or myself for that matter. Margaret and Madeline and Brianna, Bree, Coach Chambers, they are all touchstones that hold me up in my life. Enough about that, right? Let's talk about the show. It's me, Curtis, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you 2 ways to make Caesar salad dressing. Ingredients for our Caesar salad. We're going to start with the garlic, anchovies. I got the anchovies in a can there. Dijon mustard, capers, yeah, the capers, some lemon juice, olive oil. I've got 2 types of vinegar, and of course you can choose a vinegar you like. I've got a rice wine and a balsamic vinegar, salt and pepper, and of course we're going to toss it with our romaine lettuce. And I want to show you, when buying romaine, what should you look for? At my market this morning, they had this romaine. It's trimmed, and I really don't like it when they trim them too much. That lends me to think that, well, maybe they're trying to hide something from me, that they have trimmed it up to get rid of the bad leaves. I want all those beautiful green leaves if I can. Now, a lot of times when you go to restaurants, they'll serve to you, they'll say it's the heart of romaine lettuce. And that's just those inner leaves. When you get down towards this core, there's not much green color in that. It's very, very tasty. However, most of the nutrients are in these beautiful green leaves. Also, at the markets, you'll see nowadays a lot of times these artisanal romaine lettuces or lettuces. They're the old version, the smaller before all the hybrids came out. And I do like these little small artisanal lettuce. Beautiful. Look at that. It has not been trimmed. It comes in that little package that I showed you earlier. Also, this is great if you want to make a salad for 1, maybe 2, right? So let's get to making our first version of Caesar salad dressing. Traditionalists, I'm going to make this first dressing in the wooden bowl. So if you're one of those fancy restaurants that does tableside Caesar, they'll start in a wooden bowl. And there's a garlic clove. Add a little bit of pepper there to kind of season our wooden bowl. And then we're going to take 2 forks and start to just crush this garlic. You really want to take, that's a nice nice clove of garlic there. So you just want to crush it. We're starting to build a base for our salad dressing. And as I said earlier, last week I spent working with this beautiful group of sixth graders, and I really shared with them the fact that when recipes, we are building layers of flavor. So this is our base. Garlic is our base. So just take your time if you want to do this method and just crush that garlic up, you know. I love watching the gentlemen at the great restaurants that have this technique down pat. You know, and I can tell you a lot of places where you can check that out, okay? Or just go on YouTube and search. They're wonderful techniques to crushing like this. You could also use a mortar and pestle. However, I've got a trick for you after we get this recipe done that you're going to go, oh my goodness, Curtis, why didn't you do that first? So stick around. Let's get the garlic all crushed. As nice as you can. Just mix it, just mince it, just crush it, just smash it. Because we want all that garlic juice, that garlic oil in the bottom of our bowl. Just get it all down there. And the more you do this in your salad bowls, that bowl, just like your black cast iron skillets, you know, they get flavored, they get seasoned. Just putting it on top of the fork, on the tongs of the fork, then we're just raking the other fork across it. That's all we're doing. Just take your time. By the way, I left an ingredient out when I was showing you the ingredients, and that is the egg yolk. The traditional Caesar was made with a raw egg yolk. What I usually do is I'll just make a soft, I'll cook a hard, soft cooked yolk. You can also cook the yolk through if you want, if you're worried about that. Okay, let's add our capers next. Whoops. Try to keep everything in the center there. I've got an extra fork here. And I'm going to get maybe 2 good forks of the capers in there. We're going to make this a Caesar for 2, okay? The capers right in the middle there. Now, when I originally made a Caesar salad 30, 40 years ago, I didn't use the capers. And, you know, as we grow, as we learn, you know, we add things to our repertoire. And I absolutely love the capers in my Caesar dressing now. I think it was in my first book, you know, Curtis Aikens' Guide to the Harvest. And at that point, the best Caesar I'd ever had was at a restaurant, the Hilltop Cafe here in Novato, California. I think it's under new ownership now, so I haven't tried their Caesar since John Weedwall and Mike Curolo and all the folks, Mabel Torini, and I'm thinking the Quirk brothers were up in the kitchen, and John Party. Oh, guys, you should have some wonderful times up at the Hilltop Cafe here in Novato. It's still here. Like I said, I'm not sure who runs it now. So yeah, check it out. Let me know if their Caesar is still as good as it was back in the day. Okay, our capers are in. Take your time here. Just take your time with this technique. I want every caper mashed up. Next, we're going to add our Dijon mustard. But I really want to get this crushed and squished. This is one that would be great to get the kids working with, you know, to show them this little technique. On the fork, on top of the fork, right? And we'll just rake the other fork across it. You see that right there? That's all we're doing. Takes a little firm pressure now. I really want to get these mashed up. Again, the mortar and pestle would be fabulous for this. I smell that garlic, the capers. They're so beautiful together. Took a little elbow grease in here, y'all. So don't, you know, this is not like piece of cake work here. Looking pretty good. I really want to mash it up. Let's get our Dijon mustard. Pardon me, but do you have any Grey Poupon? Again, I'm going to turn these forks over. Grab the mustard. Now the Dijon can really overpower, so if you're making it for 2, it's okay. If you're making it for 1, maybe half a forkful. Again, same thing. Pull everything back in and let's mix her up. You know what I did? I got out of order. I need to add my, I'm going to add my, let's add the anchovy. I think I'm going to use 2 of them here, at least 2, maybe 3. And it's going to be the same technique that we've been using. We're just going to pull it on the fork and squish it. And I'm using the anchovies in oil. Let's go with 3 of them. Just going to mess them up, mash them into a paste. Just take your time with this. It's almost like making shredded meat, except you're shredding anchovies and you're shredding garlic and you're shredding capers. And we're going to incorporate this in with our caper Dijon mustard and continue to rake it across the top of the fork. Oh, it smells so good. Now, our lemon juice will be next. Nice little paste we've made here. Anchovy, Dijon. This smells so good. Oh, this would be a great little tapenade right here. Just something on crackers or toast points. And notice I cut the lemon almost 1/3 of it. Why? Because it's easier to remove those seeds. You see that right there? I'm just going to pluck those onto the table. And yes, I will clean up. Don't worry. I'm not going to be the junky chef or the messy chef today. Lisa says I can be a bit messy in the kitchen. I said, baby, but you told me you'd clean up. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so take those seeds out, right? Just going to squeeze that lemon juice in. Now, if you want a secret to getting most juice out of lemons as possible, you can leave them on the counter to let them come up to room temperature, or pop them in the microwave for about 10-15 seconds at the most. Okay, now see that paste is really coming together once we add that lemon juice. Wow. Remember, lemons and seafood will go hand in hand. Next, we're going to start adding some olive oil. That's beautiful. Pull that all over so you can see. Pull it up so you can see what needs to be smooshed. Our anchovies are really looking gorgeous. That's what makes it a nice paste. Loaded with those omega-3s. All right, let's add some olive oil next. Those big pieces that need to be incorporated. Definitely gonna need more oil. Now, what type of vinegar would you like to use? Balsamic or the rice wine? Or a rosa red wine vinegar? Oops, I didn't bring a rosa with me, did I? I'm sure I have some in the cabinet though. This smells so good. I need more oil. We want to add about 3 times as much oil as we add vinegar. I'm going to use the balsamic. Pardon my reach there. Okay. Oh, that's coming together nicely. Last but not least, we're going to add our egg yolk. That soft egg yolk. Let me show you that. What do they call it? A coddled egg in the UK. A lot of people in the UK love those soft cooked eggs, and they just dip it out with a spoon, you know, a small spoon. I'm going to take my scraper and watch what I do. I'm going to push everything down in the bowl, because once we get our dressing made, we're going to toss that salad in that dressing. Isn't that gorgeous? That beautiful color. Now let's see if we can get this egg yolk out. As I said, remember the traditional Caesar, the classic Caesar is made with the raw egg. Raw egg yolk. And it is so much easier to separate the egg yolk before it has been coddled. So we may have to pick out a little bit of the white if we are unsuccessful with our, you want to get that, I want to get this egg yolk. That soft egg yolk, there we go. See that? Now I'm going to take and just remove as much of the, we've added our egg yolk, and now we're just going to incorporate it in, okay? That's that soft egg yolk. Take your time. We're going to add our Parmesan cheese. Sprinkle a little Parmesan cheese in there. And you can always add a little more cheese after you serve up your Caesar. This smells absolutely incredible. Now, we'll prep our salad, and we'll get ready to toss our Caesar. Add a little more olive oil. Just a bit more lemon juice. Okay, I'm going to prep this beautiful artisan head of lettuce here, and we'll come back, and our Caesar salad dressing is there, and I'm going to show you a couple ways to serve it up. To my right there is just the whole leaves, and I put the dressing on just in a little serving container. Now this is the way at the restaurants they'll make the dressing, and it'll be in the bottom of the bowl. And then we'll just add the greens to it. Again, if we're going to use just heart of romaine, we strip down to those little beautiful pieces like that. And then, the way I like to cut it is I'll run my knife through it lengthwise once, twice, and then I'll be a perfect salad for one, maybe two. We'll add those to our bowl. Bowl back to center. And now let's just simply toss our gorgeous Caesar salad. Make sure you turn everything over and incorporate it. Oh, this is beautiful. See that? Get everything incorporated in that dressing. Sprinkle a little more of the Parmesan cheese on. And our Caesar is ready to serve. Buon appetito. Okay. Now that's the first version of the Caesar salad dressing. See how it tastes, by the way. Wow. I need to stop saying wow, don't I? Just perfect. This is so good. Now, you saw how much work that was doing that one by hand. I'm going to show you a method coming up that is so quick and easy. You're going to say, Chef Curtis, why would I ever do it that hard way when you see what I've got coming up? Peace. Remember, spread love. Like butter, gotta spread love, okay? At least it's not home right now, so I can't say, hey baby, you want more salad? Back in a sec with an easy version of this same delicious dressing. The grounds of Dominican University of California. Beautiful place. I love those redwoods and the azaleas, the camellias, the ivory on Guzman Hall. Beautiful campus. Our Caesar dressing number 2. We'll set our lettuce to the side and bring in the star of the day. We're going to use our handheld blender for this one. Yep. That's the trick. So quick and so easy. Now I'm going to take a large clove of garlic and I'm just going to slice it a little bit or just chop it in so it makes it a little easier to cut up in the blender there. Let's add our anchovies next. Okay, I think we'll throw 2 anchovies in there. What do you think? And just a little bit of that oil. Those nice omega-3s go in there. One and a 2. 2 should be plenty, right? Let's add our capers. I love these little clear containers because you can see everything through both sides. We're going to scrape in our Dijon mustard along with the mayonnaise. The Dijon. My nephew Sean, his name is actually Deshaun, And Deshaun, no. But I was home last October when Mom passed, and you know, it's funny, the kids, they remember things, although Sean's a grown man now. Are you 40, Sean? You got to tell me. He was reminding me in my early days of television that he would travel with me to South Georgia and places. And I said, my goodness, Sean, I forgot all about that till you brought it up, because we did shows together in Savannah, Georgia, and Albany, Georgia. I'm going to add the lemon juice here. Let me add my egg yolk right there. Let's add a little bit of olive oil. We're going to add more oil. We'll see how we need to go. Some olive oil. Let's do our first little burp. Close your ears, everyone. Look at that. That's looking so nice and creamy, huh? That's the anchovy that does not want to get ground up. Now let's add some vinegar. The rice wine vinegar, just a little bit. And if you add too much, just always know you can add more olive oil to tame that down. Isn't that a beautiful color? And let's check to see how smooth things are. Looking pretty good. If there are any lumps, you just chop some more. Yeah, that anchovy needs to be chopped up a little more. And the trick you could use, if that's happening, just cut the anchovies up before putting them into the blender, okay? And we're going to add a little bit of that Parm cheese in there if we'd like, or you can sprinkle it on top of your salad. And this one is ready to taste. It smells so good. All right, we'll take our instrument out. Let's set it in one of these little containers here. See if that will hold. Just take it right off. There we go. Bring our salad in, and let's add some of that dressing to it. This is really nice. It's not as thick as the first one. Wow, this is beautiful though. Look at that color. And we'll toss our salad, same as before. And we are ready to taste this gorgeous Caesar. Sprinkle a little Parm on it. Mix her up well. And if you want to add cheese, not cheese, but if you want to add chicken or shrimp to your Caesar, feel free to. I love cooking for you. Here is our Caesar number 2. Well, Caesar dressing number 2. Quick, easy, right? Let's taste it. Of course, you can add what you like, more pepper or... Wow. Don't ask me which I like best because I think they're both fantastic. If you like a more creamy type of dressing, the handheld blender is the way to go. Or you can just use your blender. Good stuff. Give it a shot. Peace, spread love. Wait a minute. Peace, spread love.